Thanks for braving the traffic. Monday morning, let's get started. Next one. I got a very interesting question as I was coming in. So what is Google doing at Web3 and AI? I thought let's upfront share with you what we are doing in the exciting space. So three things here. We are developing great Web3 products, and I'll talk a few things as we go along today. We are also providing the three key elements of efficiency, reliability, trust, and security. So those are what makes the underlying ecosystem of the blockchain infrastructure work. And what we are doing is not just developing a great bunch of products on a secure infrastructure, but we are also helping build the ecosystem of developers to make it easy for people to use. Next one. So here are the three core tenets of our strategy. The first one is where we are looking at the foundational infrastructure. When we look at enterprise-grade, planet-scale infrastructure, so that as you are doing your zk rollups, we want it to be efficient, we want it to be fast, we want it to be the next level. That's what we are doing. The next, what we are doing is putting in confidential compute. So in the runtime, we are trying to secure it to make sure that you're not getting compromised. And specifically on this, we have developed a great Web3 portal. I would encourage you to go and see it. It has a lot of on-chain intelligence where we have an open dataset program. So all your chain transactions, whatever is publicly available, is very easy to explore there. We are also developing market-leading faucet integrations with 25 different chains. And we also have a great RPC product services which helps you leverage your chain. On the second note, we are driving a lot of innovation in Web3 through AI. And there are a couple of examples here. One is our foundational models, which is Gemini, which is our first-party model, as well as we have created a model garden where you can also use some of the very commonly used open source models like Llama, DeepSeek, and so on. So it gives you developers a choice. How do you want to bring AI back into the Web3 ecosystem? And then as we roll forward, there's been a lot of excitement around what agents can do or what AI agents will be able to do. So there are ADK, which is the development kit, which makes it super easy for developers to start using it, as well as deploy it on an agent engine, which is a managed service, so that you don't have to manage all this infrastructure. And we are also doing a lot of exploratory research on bringing in the payments on the A2K platform, where we are able to integrate it with different kinds of stablecoins. So it makes it super easy for developers to go ahead and use it. The third tenet is a very important tenet for us, which is the whole area around security. So it's not just your on-chain security, but your off-chain transactions. That is where most of the vulnerabilities start. So what we do is help you with a whole array of technologies that help you secure this infrastructure. Specifically for Mandiant, which is one of our retainer services, we have helped different organizations manage attacks to the extent of $3 billion US. And then we have packaged all these understanding that we have. By the way, we have a specifically designed task force only to secure Web3 assets. And these are some of the tenets of the task force. So these three are the pillars that we help you, whether chains, DeFis, protocols, what are you, to help you run and then distribute it to your developer ecosystem. Next slide. Next. Now let's deep dive a bit more into what we are doing in the zk space. The first one is our foundational research. So Collabs, we have been investing into zk research for more than 2 years now. We are defining unique different systems. There's a lot of research that goes under it. And many of this research, we are also writing papers so that you as developers have better access and reach. The second core one is our applied use cases. So what we are doing is using some of these zk concepts to help identify new use cases, examples of that being identity systems. This next level is where we are working and optimizing our infrastructure to work along with the accelerators. Examples like the GPUs and the TPUs, which are typically used in the AI world, how can we use that high performance infrastructure for zk rollups, for example? The next one is scale. So what we are doing is scaling up this infrastructure. So as zk rollups happen, we want to seamlessly scale it up to literally thousands and thousands of nodes in a rapid space. That's what we are doing using our scale. On the security side, along with our Mandiant suite of solutions and products, we are able to secure this as we roll up. And then finally, optimize performance. So where we are right shaping your VMs, where it's not like ticket sizes of 4, 8, 16, 32, what have you, but exactly giving you the VMs that you require for doing your rollups. The third one is where we build the ecosystem. So we conduct the largest zk summit. It happens typically once a year. We bring together researchers, enthusiasts, developers, protocols, all under one roof to look at what's the state of zk and where's the future going to head. We also do a lot of thought leadership by co-scribing different white papers, articles with some of the thought leaders in this domain. So these are the three tenets of what we work in. Next slide. Let's dig a bit deeper. So these are some of the protocols that we work with, like Polyhedra, Mutable, Polygon. In fact, with Polygon, we co-developed and helped them develop the zkEVMs. And I'll talk a bit more about what zkEVM is and share the stats with you. Next one. Next. Now, our goal with Polygon was to take zk to the next billion users. And here are a few very, very exciting stats that we ran and benchmarked with. Next one. So before I get into the actual benchmark, I'll break it down into 3 layers. So these 3 layers are the layers of where cost performance is actually driven. The first layer is a layer of orchestration, where we are basically breaking down the tasks, helping them massively parallelize, roll up, secure them, and then also make sure that we can do exception handling at each of these tasks. So the first layer is a layer of orchestration. The second layer is where actually the probing systems like the zkEVMs and other things come into play. And the third layer is the high performance infrastructure, whether it's VMs, CPUs, GPUs, TPUs, what have you, depending on that task, we have the appropriate underlying infrastructure to make it happen. With this background, let's move to the next one. Next slide. These are boiling down to those 3 facets. The first facet of zkEVM, which is from Polygon, first was the custom VM. So instead of like having a massively oversized or undersized VM, we were able to right size it with the absolute number of cores and the memory that's required, which was suited for that specific task. So it's a custom one. It's not like a t-shirt size, it's custom made for that rollup. The second one is scale. So as we do the rollup, we are able to scale 3 times higher than everything else that was available with them for that time. And third was using a high performance database, Alloy, which is compatible with Postgre, so that we have 2x the performance compared to our next available competitor. So it has massive throughput, massive node pools, making sure that we give you that planet scale infrastructure that you require. So these were the 3 facets that we benchmarked on. Next one. The second layer was the layer of security hardening. The security hardening, the first step was scan before you ship. So obviously, we are trying to make the vulnerability protection right at the source. Second, what we are doing is, as changes can happen. We just wanted to make sure that you have the right digital signature so that you're always using the right VM. And the third one was giving a comprehensive dashboard, one single view, where you can manage this whole ecosystem through the click of a button. Next one. With our partners, we developed this tooling with BCW here, where you see some of the test results, like what's the gas fees, what's the average number of transactions, how many nodes, how many explorations, and so on. So we are happy to work with you if you are interested in developing this performance dashboard so that you can actually measure the performance of your underlying zk system. I'll take a pause here. This was where zk was, past and present. Now let's fast forward to the future. Next one. This is where a very interesting cross-section of where AI meets Web3 or where Web3 meets AI, depending on where we look at it, goes. Next one. If you can keep building on this. Keep building on this. Yeah. So there are two different aspects here. One is AI for Web3, which is making use of AI technologies so that it's super easy for Web3 protocols, Web3 developers, Web3 ecosystems to start using it. The other interesting cross-section is where Web3 comes into AI, where it is building trust, transparency, security, and so on. And these interesting confluence comes together and creates this agentic future for us. To build an agent, you have to make sure that it's intelligent enough, it's smart enough, developers can use it, there are interesting use cases there, and at the same time, it builds the trust and transparency with the people who want to use it, or verifiability as we call it. So this is where the confluence of this creates the agentic future. Next slide. Let me give you an example here. Think of it like a crypto agent. There can be two kinds of crypto agent. One is very task specific. So if I give you a specific task, like buy this NFT, and it will go ahead and buy this NFT, which is called what I call a standalone AI agent. Things get more interesting where I don't give you a task, but I give you a goal. For example, was the best yield for 10 ETH. Now, if I were to break it down, I have to break it down into a research task, which is where the planner agent comes into play. The second is an agent that will go down and then investigate at different places. And the third one is an execution task where you can go ahead and then execute. This confluence of three of these different agents working together with a decision making is what the next generation of crypto agents are going to come with. And this is a classic example of where a Web3 and AI come together to solve complex tasks. With this brings me to the end of today. But before my last slide, for fun, next one. While I was developing over the weekend, I was trying out new things. So if you have not tried this out, what you can do is go to AI Studio. That's where you get access to Gemini. Just put this prompt in, upload your picture, and this is what has gone viral on the internet. This is where it just took my picture, a headshot. It created that into a desktop, and then also created something like a Lego box packaging on my screen. And this is the exact prompt that I used. If you want to have some fun, you can always use that. Thank you, and have a wonderful week ahead.